Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rockin' Reaction Rollers, where we react to music that we grew up with from the 60s to the 90s, and my name is Tammy. I told you guys last night I wasn't going to be on tonight because we were going to an auction. Well, I've had my days mixed up all week. The auction's actually not till tomorrow, but I still wasn't going to be on tonight until I found out that we have had another artist musician that's passed away, and that is Neil Sedaka. He was born on March 13th of 1939, and he passed away today, I guess February 27th of 2026, at the age of 86, just shy of his 87th birthday, which would have been in March. Mary Jo had sent me a text, and I was watching, I think, the same news channel she was at the time, and I had just seen it myself, too. So thank you for that, Mary Jo. Thanks to everybody who lets me know when someone passes, an artist or musician, you know, within our range, if we could keep it that way. Before I play the song that I want to play, I want to talk a little bit about why I'm playing this song, and a little bit about Neil Sedaka, of course. First of all, before we get started with that, though, I do want to say a couple things. Earlier today, I was at Walmart. I was in my hometown, and I was in Walmart, and I ran into Superman on our channel. His real name is Mark. I ran into him. We had a good visit with each other, talking about the channel and talking about spring and this and that. And I heard the frogs croak for the third time today, so that means spring is here. That's the old wives' tale that they say around here anyway, that once you hear the frogs croak 3 times, that's when spring is supposed to be here. And then he was telling me something about the pink moon, and there's a song out there that's about spring and the pink moon, and so I want to look for that and get that on the channel, maybe as a Tammy's twofer or something. But anyway, we're going to put this song out tonight. Excuse me, I feel like I got a frog in my throat. You jumped in there. I'm going to play this song, and then I'm going to play another one, and there's a reason I'm going to do that one too, from kind of a screw up of mine. So that's what tonight's going to be about, being that I thought until this afternoon that we were going to this auction, and then everything changed. So I don't really have everything together because of it. So to get back on the song here, and Neil Sedaka, first of all, condolences to his family. He was married, and has been married since 1962, so that's 63 years, to his wife, Liba Strasberg. And they have 2 children, daughter Dara, who is a successful recording artist and vocalist for TV and radio commercials, and a son, Mark, who is a successful screenwriter in Los Angeles. And so, yeah, in September of this year, they would have been married 64 years. And so, anyway, the song that I'm going to play is my favorite by him, and it's a little more of a rock and roll side. I've already put this video out once, and the video that I chose lagged for some reason, and I'm hoping it doesn't do it on this one, is the reason why I'm doing it over again with a different video. And when there's a tribute to someone, I like to do like a live version so we can see them. And in this song, you can tell Neil Sedaka's having a great time doing it, because he's known for his soft rock sound, and this one is more of a badass sound, more of a rock and roll song. And it was actually the only #1 hit that he even had, and they don't even mention that in this song in his hits. So we're going to go back to 1975. Excuse me, everyone. We're going to go back to 1975, and we're going to play the song Bad Blood. Now, I showed that we played this song 3 years ago, and in the comments, Karen and I decided to put this song out, and she was like, you know, made me always feel like a badass when this song would come on the radio, and me too, just from the one line, the bitch is in her smile. So anyway, I've always loved it. And we'll talk a little bit about the writers, which was Neil Sedaka and Philip Cody, which they wrote a lot of songs together, and we'll talk about that. And there are 2 different takes on the phone, or on this song. One of them is Neil loved it, and Phil not so much. So we'll talk more about that when we get finished with the song, and we'll talk a little bit about the lyrics and everything in the middle of the song. So we're just going to get to it. 1975. Bad Blood, and this is a midnight special version. Okay, I'm going to stop this song for just a minute, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it here. Okay, Neil Sedaka. Oh, we'll talk about the lyrics, and we'll talk more about Neil afterwards. The lyrics of this song is about a friend of the narrator's who gets dumped by a woman who's referred to as the bitch and an evil child, while he takes a better you than me attitude towards the whole situation. Speaking about this song in Rolling Stone magazine, Neil Sedaka said, "I liked it because it's not such a goody-goody two-shoes thing. That's the mistake I made in my first career, or earlier career is what I think he's saying. The songs were too predictable." And so he really liked the song. And we'll talk about Phil Cody's take on the song when we get finished with it. And we'll talk more about Neil Sedaka, of course. So we're doing the 1975 Bad Blood, and I'm loving his dancing. He looks like he's coming out of his shell and having a good time with this song, and that's great. Oh, I loved it, loved it, loved it. If I can get it off of here before the commercials come in. Okay, I'm going to try to get through all this without the frog being in my throat. That's a bad thing about spring is allergies, so I had to get some Zyrtec today. Anyway, Neil Sedaka is a legendary American singer, songwriter, and pianist whose career spanned over 6 decades, known for his massive hits like Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, Calendar Girl, and Laughter in the Rain. And he didn't mention this song, which you're going to see why that aggravates me here in a minute. He was a pivotal figure in the 1960s pop and 1970s soft rock. He wrote or co-wrote over 500 songs, many with partners Howard Greenfield and Phil Cody, for himself and others. He was born in Brooklyn. He trained as a classical pianist at the Juilliard School of Music Preparatory Division before pursuing popular music. He was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1983 and received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1978. So I don't know if he was ever inducted for being a singer. I'm getting real aggravated with this Hall of Fame thing. It's like people can sing for 2 years and they're getting on the Hall of Fame, and then all these old rockers that deserve to be on there a long time ago are not. But he was inducted into it for his songwriting. Okay, so let's see. It says this song turned out to be Sedaka's biggest hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard Top 100, remaining there for 3 weeks. He was helped by his friend Elton John, who sang backup for this song. Now, he didn't on the live. He must have been somewhere else. They've got the women doing it, and maybe they sang on it too. I don't know. But Elton John sang backup on this song, which ensured airplay for Neil Sedaka for this song. And it says, in an odd coincidence, this song was knocked out of its #1 position by an Elton John song called Island Girl. So interesting. So anyway, what I wanted to say here, I was going to read a little bit of this. Neil Sedaka really liked the tune because it brought the badass out in him, I think. But Philip Cody, which was the other guy that wrote the song with him, not so much. He didn't care that much for the song and didn't realize, it was going to do what it did. But I'm going to read what he says here. It says, Sedaka wrote this song with Philip Cody, who also helped write his hit, Laughter in the Rain. And Cody told Song Facts it was his least favorite song. Here's the story of how it came together. He says, I went to visit my family and I spent some time with my grandmother, who is an old Sicilian lady. She was telling stories about the lady up the street who used to be a witch, a strega, and the whole idea of people being good or evil because of what goes on in their blood was just part of the superstitious nature of my Sicilian upbringing that I tried to stay as far away from as I could. And then he was laughing about it. I just thought it would be an interesting way to approach a lyric rather than from a place of enlightenment. The idea is that love makes us stupid. And that's where I went. It wasn't heavy. I did it, and I don't think I did a very good job on it. And before I had a chance to rewrite it, Neil was in the studio with Elton John doing the song. And that was it. So I guess sometimes things are better left alone. That's what he said. So anyway, I'm sure after the song was a hit like it was, he was glad he didn't rewrite it at all. So anyway, that is our tribute to Neil Sedaka. May he rest in peace. And again, condolences to his wife, Liba, and their children, Dara and Mark. And so anyway, guys, I'm going to put one more song out tonight. Like I said, I wasn't planning on being on at all, but this came up and I figured I better get it done. And then there's something I want to do in the next video as well, which is like a correction. So anyway, we're going to go for now. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like it. Be sure to hit like underneath it, and peace out.